is very sick, too. Run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States. And he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
What does that mean? He's not going to be doing it very long.
He's not doing it very long. He has cocaine mills and cocaine factories. He's not going to be doing it very long.
So there will be an operation by the U.S. and
It sounds good to me.
Secretary Rubio mentioned.
You know why? Because they kill a lot of people, yeah.
Meanwhile, a row has erupted between President Donald Trump and his Colombian counterpart Gustavo Petro as it seeks to deter the US from replicating military action in its country. The US president already calling Colombia's leader a sick man who runs cocaine mills while speaking to Air Force One reporters last week. Today, President Petro issued a statement on social media saying, "Trump speaks without knowledge. Stop slandering me. If the US bombs, the campesinos will become thousands of guerrillas in the mountains. And if they detain the president, which a large part of the country loves and respects, they will unleash the jaguar of the people." Colombia's President Gustavo Petro has called his supporters to mobilize. The call to the streets following comments from US President Donald Trump that a military operation against Colombia sounds good to him. Tension in Colombia has mounted following the US capture of Nicolas Maduro in neighboring Venezuela. Stuart Ramsey reports from Colombia.
The point is, it's really easy to forget that this all started about drugs, with President Trump saying Latin American drug trade is a problem for the United States and he's going to stop it. Venezuela was obviously immediately identified. It's morphed somewhat more into regime change in oil, but Colombia, one of the biggest producers of cocaine in the world, and Mexico were both threatened by President Trump, and that's continued. In fact, President Trump says the president here is nothing more than a drug trader. Interestingly, he's hit back by saying that Donald Trump is a murderer for the attacks on the small boats that we saw in the Caribbean. There is definitely concern in Colombia that this could get developed further. President Trump has said that he wouldn't rule out attacking Colombia, and he says that the president will go. Well, interestingly, he will effectively come to an end because his term ends in May. And I think it's also worth noting, and this is really, really important, is that the Colombian military and the United States military are absolutely together on everything, and they have been for decades now. I was with the Colombian military senior commanders are telling me it doesn't really matter what President Trump says. They always work with the United States military. The defense secretary here has said exactly the same, and that none of the relations between the two have changed. So this is very much a personal matter, I think, between the two presidents. It's possible that the United States, with the Colombian military, could identify targets, drug manufacturing areas, supply routes into Venezuela that could be attacked. But this whole concept of Colombia itself being attacked by the United States military is literally, as I frankly put it, but to me by military sources here, they literally said it is absolutely laughable.
Tension has spilt over to the Venezuela-Colombia border, where many people are concerned with possible US intervention. Mark Austin is there and filed this report.
The queue to get out of Venezuela this morning was a long and chaotic one. More families seeking refuge in Colombia, desperately worried about what will come next in their country. Maduro may have gone, but the uncertainty and the fear certainly has not. On bus and foot, Direlis has travelled for 15 hours to reach the border. With her, 10-year-old Susie. It is all about her, says her mother. I want a better future for her. People feel fear and dread about everything that's happening, she told me. All we think about is leaving the country now. Fear too now on the Colombia side of the border. And this is why. The cocaine trade is next in Trump's sights. Colombia produces around 2/3 of the world's cocaine supply, and the coca fields here now cover an area twice the size of London. Trump has called Colombia's president a sick guy, and in response, Gustavo Petro has said he would respond militarily to any attack. So once again, as the Americans see it, the problem is drugs. They're convinced that much of the cocaine produced here finds its way across borders like this one, through Venezuela, and then out to the wider world, including the United States and Europe. The Colombians argue they're doing all they can to stop the production of cocaine. This stallholder on the Colombian side of the border says there is great concern about what Trump will do next. Of course I'm afraid. As a Colombian citizen and a man of my age, I'm obviously frightened of American intervention here. What could happen? The possible deaths. It is worrying, especially here at the border, he tells me. Many Venezuelans are crossing into Colombia to fill suitcases and bags with medicines and other supplies. They will return to a country on edge, where right now the future is impossible to predict.